You have a reader that might be at the door of a gallery or some kind of building that is interested in seeing who's inside, and each card would be linked to your identity, your photo, and as you read it, as it was read, your photo would be broadcast on a wall somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be within the building, but on a display somewhere, and as people came in, they'd be big on the screen, and the time since they signed out, or since they signed in even, they'd be slowly fading away. And it would be related to the time that you've been there, or the time since you haven't been there, and how large you were on the screen to kind of give a representation of that type of thing.
Are you trying to think about wearables and how you can use your body to trigger something? We're not sure what yet. Some sort of a game, I think.
So having different tags on different parts of your body?
Yeah, so you have to move in order to, and to do a sequence to get to an end.
And then the idea is that the user can explore the body and have a view.
How it works through the shoe.
So we've got augmented reality here.
Right.
Can you say that?
So how many tags have you got on?
Yeah.
Five.
It would be much better if there was more.
Sure. Great.
Damn it. Whereabouts in your cell?
How do you think might have broken? Breaks.
And we've got some people, say Harriet, Vincent, Chris, and a few other people, and they all like music, but they really don't like certain songs. So what we've done is we've basically used the idea that you've got an intelligent room that can basically see who's inside. And say, let's say Harriet walks in, she walks in, it pings, it basically starts playing a list of music that she really, really loves, which is great. Okay, so Harriet's in there listening to music. However, Peter.
So we could actually read the ID which is on the card and map it to different notes and also different colors, and also make a file display every time you swap a card. That would bring sound and visualization really. Something quite simple to
Playing with video and associating different tags to different commands. So that, for example, on a looping video, we could either apply filters or maybe make it go faster or slower, depending on which tag is used. Then we moved into the audio realm. And here the idea was playing with the illusion that the tag is actually holding some samples, some sequence of audio information. And what we will try to do is go in the direction of recording something on the tag. Like first time the tag is put on the RFID, it will start recording a sample, and the next time the same tag is put on the reader, it will start looping the sample again.
Right.
That's mainly the idea.
Okay, so you can do sort of sequencing by playing different...
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is you can then switch or swap tags and then start creating your own sequence. As about how to do it, probably we'll be using processing.
Right.
We were investigating now how to go and achieve those results.
And they've got this information in them, but you can't see what the playing card in there is. So we're kind of really attracted to this conceptual idea of kind of playing a card game against somebody, where the kind of computer knows what's going on and the audience know what's going on, but you don't.
Right.
But it's a bit of a minefield to actually work out exactly how it would work, because if you don't have 52 cards, then essentially the computer makes up what card it is as it gives it to you, at which point they might as well be handing you a piece of paper and it doesn't need to be an RFID card in the first place.
Right.
So we're just navigating all
ideas, but just taking things to its most simple. Well, kind of using two Arduinos and staying within Arduino then. Having used your example to get the bytes / get the unsigned long version of that byte, saving those, and copied and pasted those, saving those into a lookup array, and having 12 of them. So we have one that's the reader, and then use the piezo on another one, and have the piezo buzz the different 12 tones of the chromatic scale, depending on which one's being looked up. Simplest version I can think of.
So you get this kind of whitelist of songs that they love, and all the blacklisted songs are destroyed, basically. And over time, more people walk in, so the room basically just gets the most non-offensive.
The idea is the second screen, actually.
That's really great. Yeah. So talk us through how you did that. What's the?
Well, we're using the Arduino only to read out the first 3 bytes of your Oyster card ID, and we're using those 3 bytes to determine the color that shows on the screen.
Right.
Now the actual image is really this is just one of the examples that comes along with it with the processing. So we kind of repurposed that. No, we didn't read it. And then what it does is, as soon as it reads the card, it saves it to a file, which is then well, there's a little web server on here, which just displays it on here, and this just reloads the file over and over again. Right. So that's the poor man's way to you get feedback, but actually in the background something else happens that you might not want.
Photo is taken.
Well, you might not really want to have happen. And well, this kind of depends on the setup, because we want kind of more get a surprise effect in the sense you scan here, and then you turn around.
The projector would be somewhere.
Right. It's very important. The physical layout of this is important. So right here, it's kind of
right.
And but then there's other kind of filters, cards. So any Oyster card can affect the idea.
Right.
It was all very rushed in the end.
You get a number of cards here, and it is work in progress at the moment. And essentially what you do is you take a card and you place your hand on there while sticking your head through there, and just so you can see what is in. Basically it takes a photo which distorts in a certain way of yourself. But as you can see, we're having a few teething problems. So essentially it's an image of yourself.
Or may not work.
Move this card over and take
So what? Okay. So roll up, roll up, roll up. And it's waiting for us to have a throw. So we're going to use our magic shaker. All the props, you see. And we're going to place it down. Oh, and it looked freaked out actually because there were the cards. It got 2 cards at the same time.